Strong-willed kids. The child who argues with everything, the one who questions every rule, the one who needs to know why before they'll comply with anything, the one who hears no and immediately starts negotiating, the one who makes power struggles part of your daily routine. Strong-willed kids are challenging, yes, but they're also incredibly gifted. They can change the world. They're going to be the adults who don't just follow orders, but who think critically and stand up for what's right. Your job is not to break their will. Your job is to help them learn to use their strong will in positive ways. And when you learn how to parent them in a way that works with their temperament instead of against it, everything changes. If you have been told things like, your child is difficult or defiant or too much, simply don't listen to them. Focus on how to adjust your parenting style to get the best out of your children, as there is nothing wrong with them and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. First, let's talk about what we mean by strong-willed. Strong-willed kids are not just occasionally stubborn. This is a temperament. It's who they are at their core. Here are some characteristics you might recognize. They're persistent. When they want something, they don't give up easily. They'll ask 7 different ways, they'll negotiate, they'll wear you down. They're intense. Their emotions are big. Their reactions are big. Everything feels like it matters deeply to them. They're independent. They want to do things themselves, their way, on their timeline. They resist help even when they need it. They're questioning. They don't accept because I said so. They need to understand the reasoning behind rules. They're decisive. They know what they want and they have strong opinions about everything. They're resistant to control. Anytime they feel like you're trying to force them to do something, they dig in their heels. Does this sound like your child? If so, you probably already know these kids are exhausting. The constant power struggles, the negotiations, the refusal to do simple things, the arguments over everything. But here's what you need to understand. These same traits that make parenting them so difficult, those are the traits that will make them incredibly successful adults. Let me explain. That persistence, that's determination, that's grit. That's the quality that makes people achieve big things even when obstacles get in the way. That intensity, that's passion. That's the ability to care deeply about things and pursue them wholeheartedly. That independence, that's self-reliance, that's leadership. That's the confidence to forge their own path instead of just following the crowd. That questioning nature, that's critical thinking. That's the ability to evaluate information instead of blindly accepting it. That decisiveness, that's confidence. That's knowing their own mind. That resistance to control, that's not going to let people walk all over them. That's standing up for themselves. Do you see it? The very things that drive you crazy right now are actually strengths. The problem is our traditional parenting approaches are designed for compliant kids. Kids who follow rules because adults say so. Kids who want to please. Kids who naturally defer to authority. Strong-willed kids are not wired that way. And when we use methods designed for compliant kids on strong-willed kids, it backfires. It creates more defiance, more resistance, more power struggles. Not because the child is bad, but because we're using the wrong approach. Let me tell you what doesn't work with strong-willed kids. What doesn't work, number 1, demanding immediate obedience. You said to your child, I said, come here right now. Strong-willed kids will resist any time they feel forced or controlled. The harder you push, the harder they push back. It becomes a battle of wills. And even if you win the battle, you're damaging the relationship and teaching them that might make right. What doesn't work, number 2? Punishment-based discipline, timeouts, taking away privileges, consequences meant to make them feel bad, so they'll comply next time. Strong-willed kids would rather suffer the consequence than give in. They'll lose every privilege they have before they'll let you feel like you won. What doesn't work, number 3, because I said so, strong-willed kids need to understand the reasoning. Without it, rules feel arbitrary and they have no internal motivation to follow them. What doesn't work, number 4, power struggles. Anytime parenting becomes about who's in charge, You've already lost with a strong-willed kid. They will fight to the death over control. What doesn't work? Number 5. Shaming or breaking their spirit. Some traditional parenting advice says you need to break the will of a strong-willed child. Make them compliant through fear or shame. Please don't do this. You will break their spirit, damage your relationship, and crush the very qualities that will make them successful adults. So what does work? Let me give you a framework that's specifically designed for strong-willed kids. I call it connect, explain, choose, and follow through. Let me break it down. Strategy number 1. Connect first. Strong-willed kids are more likely to cooperate when they feel connected to you. This doesn't mean you have to be their best friend. It means they need to trust that you're on their side, that you respect them, and that you see them as a person with valid thoughts and feelings. Connection happens through spending one-on-one time together doing things they enjoy, really listening when they talk instead of just waiting to correct them, acknowledging their perspective even when you disagree, showing affection and warmth even in moments of conflict. When strong-willed kids feel disconnected, they become even more oppositional. When they feel connected, they're more willing to work with you. Strategy number 2. Explain the why. Strong-willed kids need to understand the reasoning behind rules. Instead of, clean your room because I said so, try, I need you to clean your room because when things are messy, it's hard to find what you need, and it makes our whole house feel chaotic. A clean space helps everyone feel more peaceful. Give them the real reason, not just because it's the rule, but the actual purpose. And here's the key. The reason needs to make sense. If you can't think of a good reason for a rule, maybe it's not an important rule. Strong-willed kids have built-in BS detectors. If your reasoning is weak, they'll poke holes in it. But when the reasoning is solid, they're much more likely to buy in. Strategy number 3. Give choices. This is the game changer with strong-willed kids. They need autonomy. They need to feel like they have some control over their lives. So instead of making everything a demand, give choices within boundaries. Instead of, put your shoes on right now, we're leaving. Try, we're leaving in 5 minutes. Do you want to wear your sneakers or your boots? The boundary is non-negotiable. We are leaving. But they get to choose something within that boundary. More examples. Instead of, eat your vegetables. Try. You need to eat 3 vegetables before you can have dessert. Do you want carrots, broccoli, or both? Instead of, go take a bath right now, try, bath time is in 10 minutes. Do you want bubbles or no bubbles? Do you want to bring toys or just wash quickly? Instead of, clean up your toys, try, the toys need to be cleaned up before dinner. Do you want to do it by yourself or do you want me to help you? Do you want to set a timer and race? Or just clean up at your own pace? See what's happening? You're maintaining the boundary, the expectation doesn't change, but you're giving them control over how it happens. This satisfies their need for autonomy while still getting cooperation. Strategy number 4. Follow through consistently. Here's the thing about strong-willed kids. They will test boundaries relentlessly, not because they're bad, but because they need to know if you mean what you say. So, if you give a choice and they refuse both options, there needs to be a consequence. But the consequence isn't punishment. It's the natural or logical result of their choice. For example, we're leaving in 5 minutes. Do you want to wear sneakers or boots? If they refuse, I see you're not ready to choose. I'll choose for you, and you pick one and help them put it on. Or you bring both pairs and let them go barefoot until they're ready. Or the toys need to be cleaned up before dinner. Do you want to do it yourself or with my help? If they refuse, I see you're choosing not to clean up. That means the toys will be put away for the rest of the day and we'll try again tomorrow. The key is you stated the boundary. You gave choices. They chose not to cooperate. The consequence follows naturally, without anger or lectures. And then tomorrow, you offer the choice again. Because strong-willed kids need many repetitions to internalize that you mean what you say. Let me give you some real scenarios and how to handle them with strong-willed kids. Scenario 1. Morning routine battles. Strong-willed kids often resist routines because they feel controlling. What works? Give them choices and control within the routine. You need to be dressed, teeth brushed, and have eaten breakfast by 7:30 so we can leave on time. You can choose what order you do those things in. Do you want to eat first or get dressed first? Or create a visual routine chart and let them check things off. They get the satisfaction of control while still completing the routine. Scenario 2. Refusal to do homework. Strong-willed kids especially resist tasks that feel pointless or forced. What doesn't work? Sit down and do your homework right now. What works? I know homework isn't your favorite thing. What do you think would help you get through it? Do you want to do it right after school or after you've had some time to relax? Do you want to work at the table or on the couch? Do you want me nearby or do you want privacy? Give them as much control as possible over when, where, and how. The non-negotiable is that it gets done. Scenario 3. Sibling conflict. Strong-willed kids often clash with siblings because they want things their way. What doesn't work? Just let your sister have a turn. Stop being selfish. What works? You both want to use the iPad. We need to figure out a fair solution. What ideas do you have? Let them problem solve. Strong-willed kids are often great at finding solutions when they feel like they're part of the process instead of having a solution imposed on them. Scenario 4. Public meltdowns. Strong-willed kids can have intense meltdowns when they don't get their way. What doesn't work? Giving in to stop the tantrum or harshly demanding they stop. What works? Stay calm. State the boundary. Acknowledge the feeling. I know you really want that toy. It's hard when we can't have something we want. We're not buying toys today. You can be upset about it, and I'm going to stay right here with you while you have your feelings. Then follow through. You don't buy the toy, but you don't shame them for their feelings either. Later, when calm, that was really hard for you in the store. Next time you want something we're not buying, what could you do instead of screaming? Let me talk about something really important: the difference between defiance and development. Sometimes what looks like defiance is actually age-appropriate boundary testing, or a child asserting their growing independence. A 2-year-old saying no constantly is not being defiant. They're learning that they're a separate person from you. A 4-year-old asking why about everything is not being disrespectful. They're developing critical thinking. A 7-year-old wanting to do things their own way is not being difficult. They're building independence. The key is distinguishing between normal developmental behavior that needs patience and guidance, strong-willed temperament that needs specific strategies, actual defiance, which is usually a sign that something else is going on, unmet needs, big emotions they can't handle, or a relationship that needs repair. Most of the time, what we call defiance is actually one of the first two. And when we respond with connection and appropriate strategies instead of punishment, the defiance often resolves. Here's what I want you to understand about strong-willed kids. They're not trying to make your life difficult. They're wired differently. They have a deep need for autonomy that other kids don't have to the same degree. They're not being stubborn to spite you. They literally cannot comply when they feel controlled or when something doesn't make sense to them. And here's the beautiful part. When you learn to work with their temperament instead of against it, these kids thrive. They become leaders, not followers. They become innovative thinkers who question the status quo. They become people with strong convictions who won't compromise their values. They become resilient because they've learned to advocate for themselves. All those qualities that exhaust you now, those are going to serve them incredibly well in life. Let me give you some practical tips for daily life with strong-willed kids. Tip number 1, pick your battles. Not everything is worth fighting over. Decide what truly matters and let go of the rest. Do they have to wear matching socks? Probably not. Do they have to be kind to others and follow safety rules? Yes. The fewer battles you fight, the more cooperation you'll get on the things that matter. Tip number 2. Give advance notice. Strong-willed kids hate sudden transitions. They need time to mentally prepare. We're leaving in 10 minutes. I'm going to give you a 5-minute warning and then a 1-minute warning. Tip number 3. Avoid power struggles. Anytime it becomes a battle of wills, disengage. I'm not going to argue about this. The rule is X. I'm going to give you some time to think about it and we can talk when you're ready. Tip number 4. Collaborate on solutions. We keep having fights about screen time. Let's figure out a plan together that works for both of us. When strong-willed kids are part of creating the solution, they're much more likely to follow it. Step number 5. Celebrate their strengths. I love how determined you are. When you set your mind to something, you don't give up. You have such strong opinions and you're not afraid to express them. That's going to help you in life. Help them see their strong will as a gift, not a flaw. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Your strong-willed child is not broken. They don't need to be fixed. They need to be understood, guided, and channeled. Yes, parenting them is harder than parenting an easygoing, compliant child. Yes, you're going to be exhausted. Yes, there will be days when you question everything. But these kids, they're going to change the world. They're going to be the CEOs, the entrepreneurs, the activists, the leaders, the innovators. They're going to be the adults who don't just follow orders, but who think critically and stand up for what's right. Your job is not to break their will. Your job is to help them learn to use their strong will in positive ways. And when you do that, when you connect, explain, give choices, and follow through consistently, you'll see these kids flourish. If this resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of parents who are figuring out how to raise these amazing, challenging, strong-willed kids. I don't want you to miss future videos. And drop a comment below. Tell me, do you have a strong-willed kid? What's your biggest struggle with them? What strategies have worked for you? Hearing your experiences helps other parents who are in the trenches feeling alone. Let's support each other in raising these future world changers.